ImAllexx is a fucking dunce. Now, I'm sure all of you know who ImAllexx is. Popular commentator, YouTuber, slanderer, he's all of them. But I'm not here to discuss the already well-known fuck-ups ImAllexx has already been a part of. Controversies like the Slazo allegations, the Zaptai allegations, and the James Charles allegations have already been covered in depth a fuck ton of times. However, I will be using them for some meme-worthy moments. I had to sit through an avalanche of boring content that this snake-tongued faggot has released throughout his adventure on YouTube. An adventure filled with lies, deception, and manipulation. ImAllexx repeats himself way too much in his fucking videos, and it's ridiculous. It makes his videos absolutely unbearable to watch, hearing him fumble around for 10 minutes so that he can sprinkle more ads throughout them.
She's back. Delphine has returned to the internet. But she's back. Let's watch her return video. But when I opened my OnlyFans, I had a great OnlyFans. But she's on OnlyFans now. I wonder how well her OnlyFans is actually doing. What is her OnlyFans actually gonna look like? As somebody who is a lyrical genius, I'm musically talented.
Oh my god, is the fucking record broken? Stop saying the same thing over and over again, you fucking idiot. Now, he doesn't only just repeat himself to get to 10 minutes. He also spends a nice majority of his time saying basically nothing and getting sidetracked.
Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be looking at a high school friend of mine. I mean, we never met at high school, but we did go to the same secondary school. So that's my claim to fame. It's Belle Delphine. It's nice to know that I'm not even the most popular person from my school. You know, I have nothing going for me.
Get to the point, you dumb fuckwad.
But in all honesty, I don't care. I'm not interested at all. Because the only thing that I care about being back is the Premier League. Oh, football's coming home.
2 minutes. It takes him 2 minutes to get to the actual topic of the video. And in those 2 minutes, he spends time advertising his dog shit merch.
How uninteresting do you have to be to turn this into a form of merchandise? You know, you've got nothing else apparently to sell to people.
He also has a tendency to cover the same topics over and over, and I wouldn't be bothered if he actually had insightful things to say. But he doesn't, due to the fact that his personality is pretty fucking bland.
And I never really understand what he's saying most of the time.
The smallest new piece of information could come out of a certain topic, and he goes straight to make a new video about it, somehow managing to stretch it out to 10 minutes. Lele Pons, 8 videos. The Ace Family, 5 videos. The Pauls, uncountable. And Danielle Kahn, 5 videos. Wait, isn't Danielle Kahn that 15-year-old girl who used to do Musical.lys? Yep, this fully grown adult takes it upon himself to ridicule some kid for the entertainment of his audience. Oh, bruh! And these small videos aren't it. He's made videos on more kids than this. Now, I don't want to come off as some sort of SJW who thinks you can't critique kids. My problem is the fact that he turns these into videos of kids being made fun of. If you want to make fun of kids in private or some shit, that's fine. Go as hard as you want, because I myself am a major cunt. But when you make a video on these kids using even the most lighthearted of insults, the psychotic people in your fanbase will try and harass and send them death threats.
I don't care about them.
His We Need to Stop series is an example of his extremely mundane and terrible content, using clickbait and misleading titles to try and entice the viewers. A good portion of those videos aren't even spent critiquing the YouTubers he's covering. In fact, he defends them in the videos. And another nice chunk of those videos are spent stuttering while saying nothing. Now, I don't really have a problem with clickbait. As long as it, for the most part, actually has to do with the topic it's covering, I'd say go right ahead. And it seems Alex actually agrees with me.
And on my videos, I apply what I like to call the Leafy is here clickbait tactic. Full-on caps lock titles, normally based around somebody who is interesting.
However, less than 30 seconds later, he proceeds to contradict himself.
I'm not just sitting here and putting a clickbait title on a clickbait thumbnail and then just putting a 10-minute unedited video of me talking about some bigger YouTuber for views.
Really, Alex? Really? You're gonna stick with that story?
Mission Control, we have a belligerent dumbass here.
Alex also likes to put himself on a pedestal when talking about subjects. A great example of this would be a video titled Corinna Kopp's Awful Merch, where he discusses the time when Corinna released merchandise which had the definition of anxiety on the back. My only problem with this merchandise is that it was pretty shit and uncreative. However, Alex had a much bigger problem with this hoodie. In his video, He proceeded to insinuate that Corinna had absolutely no care for mental illness by releasing this hoodie.
I wish people were more self-conscious of the ways they make others feel. 22,000 retweets, 81,000 likes. Well, if you do really wish that, Corinna, if that is generally something that you really, really care about, you know, you want people to care about other people, and you want to show that you actually care, that you actually feel empathy, and you're not just trying to, you know, capitalise off of trendy feelings that other people can relate to who are teenagers with loads of retweets, likes and money, you probably shouldn't do stuff like this.
I don't know how you came to that conclusion. She's a dumb bitch who made some shitty uncreative merch. Just like yourself. And if Corinna is a bad person and unsympathetic to anxiety and mental illness in general by releasing this merch, then what the fuck is this? Oh. Well, according to your logic, it seems that you're unsympathetically capitalizing off of the sexual orientation and the struggles that gay people have went through. In another video that Alex made, titled, "This Needs to Stop Now," he talks about the time that Perez Hilton criticized famous TikTok star Charli D'Amelio for dancing to an explicit song at the beach.
I would just hope that my daughters are not dancing to songs about taking D on TikTok while gyrating, dancing like grown women to that song in a bikini.
Now, I think that Perez is a bit of a fucking retard when he said this. I don't give a shit about some kid dancing and having fun with their friends. If she's not in any danger or is involved in any inappropriate acts, then I don't give a shit. Now, you might be wondering, oh, well, Alex has it pretty easy here. How could he fuck this up? You'd be surprised. He shows a clip of Perez making very suggestive videos. Yep, this guy's a loser and it's pretty fucking weird. However, Alex thinks there's something more here. He thinks that he should be arrested for being obsessed with kids.
Obsessed over a 15-year-old when you're like a fully grown adult. And yes, I'm obsessed over a 15-year-old girl. If a police go, oh mate, maybe you shouldn't hang around schools, you don't go, hey, back at the school again. But also, it doesn't mean that you're any less weird for having an obsession over this 15-year-old's life.
Constantly driving home this stupid point. And when you hear that someone's obsessed with kids, what do you automatically think? Right. Way to phrase that video, dumbass. You just made yourself look worse than this cunt. In late 2017, YouTuber Zoella made an advent calendar to sell to her audience. What's wrong with this? Well, she decided to sell it for $50. Very overpriced for something like an advent calendar. Well, Alex feels the need to make a video talking about this, and in the video, he regurgitated what everyone else was saying at the time, calling her greedy and saying it was expensive. But he also called her a scammer.
Ah, found one. Scammer. To an advent calendar that she's just scamming her fans with. She still scams her fans now.
Oh no, someone makes a product and sells it for more money than it's actually worth? I've never heard of this before. Scam? No. That is not what a scam is. You see, a scam has to have a level of dishonesty. However, when she said this, she was very clear about how much it cost. The definition was a Google search away. Geez, Alex, you really like making false allegations, don't you? I'm noticing a trend here.
Yeah, I know that you only do this for views, mate. Don't worry. You don't have to explain that to anybody.
But hey, that's kind of how all the bottom feeders of the commentary community are. I don't expect them to not take advantage of their fans. I do not expect them to care for what they're producing.
But I expect them to not pretend that they're somebody that they are not.
Am I an idiot? Is that what you take me for?
Yes.
So I thought what I'd do... Oh! That is not what I expected.
ImAllexx is an unreliable source of truthful information, and the excess of videos he's made with lack of research exemplify this. One situation I really want to discuss is the Philip DeFranco Patreon scam video he made. Now this is the part of the video where I really go on this snake-tongued bitch, because this video is full of incredibly stupid points regarding Phil's Patreon. For those of you who don't know, YouTuber Philip DeFranco made a video in May of 2017 where he tells the audience about a new Patreon he's made which is meant to fund, in his words,
I want to make the next great news network.
Where he will not be controlled by any corporate interests. However, it had been months and the news network had still not come out. People were getting mad, saying that Phil had scammed them out of their money. When Alex makes the video, however, he comes with this big dick energy like he's the big brain guy who knows what he's talking about. So, let's see if he really does.
People want to know where the money is going. And that would be pretty simple if they actually did research.
Shut the fuck up. You're telling people to do research while you have done the most minimal of research to make this video. You spent a weekend on it. You can't do that much in a weekend, dude.
The new DeFranco show is almost there. So close. See you soon. So it's been 4 months since that tweet. So let's see if the new DeFranco show lives up to all its promises. I mean, I assume it's out by now. It's been 4 months.
The new Philip DeFranco show. Don't you mean the PDS, which is every like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday? You mean the YouTube channel, right, Cavos? You do know that he doesn't mean he's creating an entire new show. He meant he was uploading a video.
You're right. He didn't. But he might as well have said it.
I want to make the next great news network. A network that's run under my vision of it is okay to have and share opinions, but let's get the facts right first. Learning lessons and picking up amazingly talented people along the way. Deep dives, debates, new podcasts, new interviews with experts. Getting out on the street to see what people really think.
What else does that video come off as other than, hey, I'm building the next big news media conglomerate that's very different from the style that I used to make to rival the mainstream? It's a very clever line, too. I'm going to rival the mainstream media.
I want to do it independently to make sure no corporate interests can manipulate and control how the news is presented.
Everyone on YouTube hates the mainstream, so of course if you portray it this way, people are going to feel more inclined to donate to you since it comes off as this crusade against the mainstream.
Philip DeFranco sees his Patreon as a subscription service and not a donation platform, which Patreon tends to have it seen as. In the same way that you pay $5 for a movie, you don't necessarily need to see how much money that movie has made to know whether what you're going to get is what you paid for and has been funded to the full extent.
This is a shitty false equivalence argument. When you rent a movie, you have access to it straight away, and it's very clear what you're getting. The problem with Phil is that people are donating to receive something that takes a fuck ton of time to deliver upon, and therefore he should be much more transparent about how much he's receiving and how many people are donating, both of which he seems to go out of his way to refrain from disclosing.
Is that a scam?
And also, just because Phil here doesn't see his Patreon as a donation service and sees it as more of a subscription service, doesn't mean that it actually is.
Fuck you.
I also understand one of the reasons why he hasn't kept it public, and that's because a lot of people recently have been trying to figure out where the money's going, alluding to the fact that maybe the 2 new cushions are where all the estimated 250k is going.
Why is trying to find that out a bad thing? Transparency is key with patronage, and if you aren't transparent with it, you're a shady piece of shit.
One of my big issues with being a YouTuber and seeing Philip DeFranco doing what he's doing is that even other YouTubers who never put any money into the content they're producing, or YouTubers who just don't seem to ever know what's going on, let alone people, don't actually know how much money it costs to run a business, have a set, and hire editors.
And neither do you, so how are you sitting here so confidently assuming that you know it takes a bunch of money to produce what Philip is selling?
The ignorance of people not knowing what actually goes into creating a show like his, or let alone a YouTube channel with a set and editors and staff, isn't just ignorance, but it's just plain hateful and borderline defamation of character.
I don't understand why Alex is portraying Phil's content like this godly, irreplaceable masterpiece. He recites news that has already been reported on and asks what to cover on his Twitter, with very minimal editing. It really doesn't require the team he has, or the money he's requesting.
A lot of people say, why does his set seem to cost so much? You know, it's just a couch and a bunch of pillows. It doesn't look like a news show. It's because he's trying to be the everyday man. He's trying to show you that you don't need a flashy CNN news set to be a news channel.
Thank you, Alex. This is your first good point in the video. Phil is purposely going out of his way to portray himself as the average middle-class guy, just like the rest of us. And there is a bit of a level of manipulation. He wants you to think that he's the moderate guy who makes moderate money, trying to start this enormous corporate news network empire. And therefore he convinces you to give him more support, more money, and more idiots going out of their way to defend him.
Currently, he is delivering on his promise, although people like John Scarce have complained that they haven't received rewards. But even though this is an issue, Philip DeFranco has a person hired that you could contact to actually receive your rewards if you have issues.
Right. It's like literally based off of one tweet from a guy that's like, but I don't think he's scamming anybody.
I saw that tweet by Scarce, actually. I thought it was, I mean, he's like, I didn't get my stuff, but I think he's
Yeah.
good and the
Which
money's going to good
scarce.
use. It's like,
Contact us, send a message. I'll also send you a mug. I don't think you were at that tier.
Now, as somebody who mass ships shirts, I also have the issue where occasionally stuff will get lost. And if people contact the support, they will get their order.
Yes, but like you said, Philip has a team, and there's a higher level of responsibility that comes with this stuff if you're getting tens of thousands to potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars per month. Alex, you are a moron and a low-tier creator in this community. You're a snake who has slithered your way to the top by spreading false information, going with the popular opinion, and backstabbing people for your own personal gain. But most importantly, you're a dunce.
So what if I'm the monster that's been here all along? Well, you might be actually, because that's why I'm doing this video. I lose the challenge of basic human intelligence. Just because you don't know doesn't mean that you should assume and then spread that false information because of your own personal distaste for a man.